Can Do Kids International is a 10-year-old U.S.-based nonprofit that helps children and those who lead them and those who love them to experience God's love, learn God's word, and live God's way. We had the opportunity to travel to Kenya in 2012 at the invitation of Karanja Mabura Wamatangi to celebrate the commissioning of a water system at Kiangochi Primary School that was funded in part by our founder, Richard Sherman. What happened was we went over there with the idea that we were going to put Bible clubs in churches or schools, wherever we could. But when we went into Murang'a County, we saw the condition of the schools. The biggest need that we saw was water. It's foundational. It's what they need for their health, for their hygiene. It's what they need to drink. It's something that's needed in terms of growing food. Within the first couple weeks of us coming home, we found out that a 5-year-old girl in our Can Do Kids Club had gone, her name was Ava, that she wanted to help children in Africa have clean water. So she and her twin sister Elise, at 5 years old, started making lots and lots of bookmarks and selling them for $1. So through their efforts and through their encouragement of other kids who did things like lemonade stands and other types of fundraising, they were able to raise enough money for our first official Can Do Kids water system in Kenya. Ava and Elise, their mom and dad, all came with us to Kenya that following year to be able to commission the water system. Before we went on that trip, though, we had a visit with a young man in our small town who was praying for our group as we went, and he had been struggling with cancer for many years. When we got to Kenya, we heard that this young man had passed away. So when we got back from commissioning Ava's well, we started raising funds for Gavin's well. So at the end of that year, we were able to take Gavin's parents and his sister, who were able to commemorate the 1-year anniversary of their son's death by commissioning that well. The third well has a really interesting story in that a couple, instead of asking for gifts for themselves for their wedding, they requested that their guests give money to go towards a well. That's a story behind the wedding well in Ndikwa. We've had a lot of different other opportunities come out. It seems like each of the wells has some kind of a unique story. One of them, we went to a food processing plant, and we had many of the employees come up and just put coins and dollar bills in a plastic bucket that we ended up raising several $1,000s to go towards yet another well. And a couple that had gone on a trip with us, they got an inheritance, and they felt like God was asking them to give a portion of that inheritance to be able to build a water system in one of the schools that they had actually been able to visit the year before. A local farmer has donated his land to raise corn and sold corn where the money has gone towards wells. As we continued to work with schools and build water systems, we really got to see firsthand how significant a problem the lack of water is. According to the United Nations, Kenya is a chronically water-scarce country. About 56% of the population has access to safe water, and Murang'a County is among the areas suffering. Water scarcity leads to jiggers infestation and other diseases. It consumes large amounts of time. It hurts academic performance. Lack of water hinders agricultural and industrial productivity, perpetuating the cycle of poverty. Can Do Kids International is bringing hope and encouragement to students and their communities by helping them get convenient access to abundant, clean, and safe water. We broke ground this week for our 14th water harvesting system, and we have been able to serve over 8,000 students and their teachers and communities. Our vision for the future is that every school, every public school in Murang'a County would have on-site access to clean water. All that we've done so far on a very limited budget, totally as volunteers doing this on the side, has been done through God's help and through prayer. And so we believe that we can go forward in prayer. There is a verse in the Bible that says nothing is impossible with God, and we believe that God will help us do it. Moronga County is so rich in resource, and we believe that the next generation needs to be equipped, starting with water. And we are looking for anyone who shares this vision with us so we can help the children and the next generation in Kenya.